My last post just went viral.
How we go viral, only I know. Let's go viral right now.
So I hear you want to go viral today. Well, you came to the right place. Stay tuned. So apparently you want to go viral. You want your video to be in as many places as possible. You want to see your stuff be seen by as many eyes. Maybe you want your music to be seen or heard by as many people as possible. And you have an idea, or maybe you don't have an idea, for a controversial video that could possibly go viral. Now, why am I the person you should be listening to? Because my name is Curtis King of CurtisKingBeats.com, and this is what I do for a living. Viral marketing, viral videos have all been part of not only just my own campaigns within music as a rapper and a producer, but I've taught this art to other rappers and producers, and they've utilized it for themselves to much success. Now, for me, I've had probably, I say, 14 videos go viral within the last 6 to 8 months. So chances are you've probably seen my face. No, I'm not The Weeknd or DJ Khaled, but chances are you probably see my face, and you probably have questions as to how do you do it so often? You know, I used to believe that viral marketing or viral videos was something that happened by accident. Well, I was extremely wrong, especially the more books that I read that talked about just what makes something viral. It's really the same thing in which makes a cold viral. You get a little kid that comes into your house and all of a sudden it starts off with them touching a doorknob, then you touch it and you get sick, and then your mom gets sick because you gave her a cup with your hand and she drinks out the cup. It's how viral marketing works the same exact way. Now, today we're going to specifically be talking about making things go viral within the platform of videos within your social medias. Now, I'm not guaranteeing your videos are going to go viral. I cannot guarantee that, but I can tell you that if you follow these rules or these laws of going viral using controversy, as I'm going to call them, you will see that you will put yourself in the best possible situation to go viral. Now, what we're going to be using is a video that I just recently had that went ridiculous viral. I mean, I put it up and within 24 hours on Instagram, it had over 11,000 views. And you know how difficult it is to get authentic views on Instagram, and nothing was paid for. No promotion was ran. Within YouTube and within Instagram, no promotion used. That thing went viral. Now, there's a few factors we're going to talk about that actually spiked it up even higher than what I'm talking about right now, because we're actually still in live time and that I just released a video a few days ago. The video is me ranting as a real Tupac fan, which I am, about the All Eyes on Me movie and my opinion about it. That's all that it was. It was just me ranting. And would you know, people were infuriated. People were angry. This is a hot topic right now. And it was June 16th when I released that, which is Tupac's birthday. And it was also the day that the movie officially premiered. Now, I saw it the night before that in a midnight screening, but oh man, I knew once I saw that movie that I felt so strongly about it, being a diehard Tupac fan. There's no way they could have disappointed me with the movie, because I was excited not only just to see a movie about one of my heroes, but somebody that I've actually worked with, Demetrius Shipp Jr., I've seen him the day that he did his audition. I said, man, you're going to get that part because you look exactly like him. You sound like him. And then sure enough, he got the role. So there was some added bias when I actually went in and saw the movie, but I enjoyed it. I liked it, but that's my opinion. And you know what's funny is that the same people who are fans of Tupac for being a controversial figure that went against the norm are angry at me, or people like me who have an opinion that goes against their norm. Ironic, isn't it? Well, it's not beyond my understanding. I know people. I know the psychology of human beings, and I knew what was getting ready to happen. I knew that when I left that movie theater. I thought the movie was amazing, but I knew there was going to be diehard fans that were like, you missed this part, or this wasn't real, or this was depicted the wrong way. And they all have valid arguments. However, I felt strongly about how I felt about that movie. I knew a very great opportunity presented itself, and I just had to show up. There was an opportunity to go viral using controversy. Now, before you walk away and you say, you know what, Curtis, I'm not really a controversial type of person, or my product is not really controversial, and I don't really want to get into those politics, let me help you understand from somebody who's also not a controversial figure how I made it work for me. Now, the first law that I'm going to share with you about making your video go viral is actually the law of congruency. Now, what is congruency? Congruency is basically when your hand gestures, your confidence, your voice, your demeanor, everything just looks like it aligns exactly with how you feel. Now, if you told somebody, I'm going to kick your ass, you're not going to believe them. But if you said, I'm going to kick your ass, everything in here just says that we about to fight. But it's very hard to fake congruency. I don't suggest trying to fake your congruency. I suggest that you find something that you're so aligned with, something that I don't care who told you it. I don't care if it was your mama that said you was wrong. You gonna feel very adamant about that and stand by it. For me, it was this Tupac movie because I love the fact that his story is being shared, and I feel like people were judging it unfairly, especially people who were too young. They weren't even born when Tupac was around to have an opinion about these things. Now, obviously, Queen Jada Pinkett and Young Noble had opinions about it, and that's fine. This was not a video about opposing them, but it was so wide sweeping that people thought it applied to them. And when people's imaginations run wild, this is when things go viral. So the first part of being congruent, I knew that me having this opinion took an alienating stance. It was something that was against the norm. I knew that ASAP. That was a very important part of why this was going to go viral. Also, I used a colorful personality. Now, I didn't have to put on, thankfully, because it's just who I am. I can be outlandish. I can be this guy that talks like this and what the hell? What? Shut up. I can be that guy any day of the week. It's not me 100% of the time, but that's just who I am. You know who I got that from? Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith is a sports analyst who's just known for his controversy, known for talking like this. What do you mean LeBron's better than Jordan? What do you mean? He's one of those guys, and he does it so well. And I listened to his podcast the night before, and I said, you know what? It is his colorful personality that is the reason why people tune into everything he has to say, even if they hate him. They tune into what he has to say because he has a colorful personality. So I knew that I had to use a little bit more of this kind of aggression. I had to shut up. I had to be a little bit more of this. I had to give you a little extra because you know what? This is the first time somebody's going to see you. And this is going to be the first impression that they're going to have of you. So as I'm getting around and moving around, these are things that all contributed to this video going viral due to controversy. I mean, everything from using ridiculous imagery. I think I even used Morgan Freeman as an example of a terrible biopic when he played Malcolm X in that video, and that was imagery that I used. I even used some of the clips from Tupac's songs so that you could identify that, oh, this is somebody who knows what he's talking about. Oh, this is something I recognize. I'm going to watch more. And let's not forget that this was on June 16th. The timing was very important. It's very important that when you see something boiling, when you see a conversation that everybody is on opposing sides and it's very, very heated, it's very important you insert your piece of the conversation into that choir. It's very important that you make your piece, especially if you want your video to go viral using controversy. Now, I'm not saying you have to be the opposite of something to do that. You could do that, but I'm telling you congruency is very important. I believed in every single word that came out of my mouth when I did that video because I felt that way. I mean, to be honest with you, I had a friend that was the starring actor. He played Tupac. Demetrius worked hard for that role, and I felt like he was being judged unfairly, and I wanted to come show support for that. And then also, too, I felt like they're trying to put 25 years of Tupac's life within 2 hours that is digestible for all fans. I knew 6 years ago when they wanted to start doing this movie that was going to be impossible and some people were going to be angry. So I went in there with an open heart and I knew all of the other controversy that surrounded it. Let's not even get into that. I understand that. I took a stance and I had an opinion. That's all that I did. And that's all you're going to do when you get your content to go viral. The second law of making sure that your video goes viral using controversy is you have to make sure that quality is non-negotiable. Now, right now I'm recording on my Lumix GH4 camera, which does in 4K, and I have the Rode microphone so you can hear me clearly. Quality is non-negotiable. Now, does that mean you can't record on an iPhone? No, that's actually really great quality, especially the 6, the 7s. I've done many videos on those, but quality is non-negotiable. If you want this to go viral, I'm not saying there's not videos that are not great quality. We've seen a lot of Vine videos that weren't great quality that went viral. I'm not saying that. I'm saying we're giving you the best opportunity possible. Quality is non-negotiable. Now, what things about your video must be quality? First of all, you must be clear about what your message is from the jump. Now, if you look at the actual video that I use, I turned my long form video from YouTube, I turned that into a meme on Instagram. And I made it very clearly into a, I made it into a meme where you see the black bar at the bottom, black bar at the top and the bottom, and it says, A real Tupac fan rants about the movie. I use the logo of All Eyes on Me so people are acknowledging that. I use 2 laughing emojis so they know this is something to laugh at, which a lot of people miss that point. And I use a very clear and bold font that said, boom, this is exactly what it's going to be about. Now, within the video itself, I made sure that my point was clear the whole way through. And when I made the video, I did a lot of ranting, even stuff that you didn't even see in the video, and I had to cut a lot. That worked to my advantage. When you're making a viral video, you must make sure that it's something that's keeping the attention at all points. You want to make sure that every single thing that comes out of your mouth, and this is after editing, mind you, everything that comes out of your mouth is just on point. It's just like, man, he is on fire. It's like somebody pumped him up and he was just ready to go. And that's what I look like. From beginning to end, it didn't look like I ever fell off or I was ever doubting with anything that I said. I went for it and I got there. So quick editing is very important, especially when you feel like you have any dry moments. There was a lot of stuff that I had to look back and say, should I keep it? And I cut it out because it's non-negotiable. Quality is non-negotiable. It was a very clear video. I had to make sure that you saw me very clearly. The lighting was good. I was actually standing in front of my tripod, so the camera wasn't moving around. I wasn't doing a selfie cam. I spoke very clearly because quality is non-negotiable when you're trying to go viral. Also, another important factor is the length of the video. I couldn't have this long 5-minute, 6-minute video hoping that this was going to be something that everybody would want to consume, whether they hated what I talked about or liked about it. That's impossible. I shouldn't say impossible, but that's not what I wanted to do to put myself in the best position to go viral. So I said, this video must be 1 minute because if it's 1 minute, I can not only share this on Twitter and Facebook and get it easily consumed, I can put it on Instagram and not be cut off. So that's exactly what I did. I made the video 1 minute. I think it might have been 1 minute and a second, but I cut it so that you got the meat of that video. Boom, you're gonna get straight to it. It's gonna be something that you're probably gonna wanna repeat. You're probably gonna wanna share. It's in the greatest possible position because quality was non-negotiable. I didn't do the long form video and then try to cut it. No, I made a video specifically for native content, specifically for Instagram so that you can consume it the way that you wanna consume your content on Instagram. Now we spoke about the text that I use on the actual meme, but what about the actual images that I use within the video? These images are there to keep the eyes pleased, to keep the eyes entertained. I did that on purpose. I wanted to make sure that as you're watching it, you see things that give you a reference that say, oh, I do remember that. Oh, that's tight. Oh, what is that? What is that? And by the time you know it, the video is over and you're like, I missed so much. Let me go back. This is why you want to utilize imagery within that because that also makes the video go viral because it starts to break off conversation pieces within your video that maybe people didn't even know about. So as I'm showing you this album where it's one of the Tupac lost tapes that people probably didn't even know about even existed, now they're looking like, yo, what is that? Even somebody said when I used one of the clips of his song, yo, what song is that at 051? Oh, that's Temptations by Tupac. It all plays a role. Quality is non-negotiable, my friend. Now, this also applies, and this is going to transition to the next law, but this also applies to your thumbnail that you use if you're using it on YouTube. Now, if you have YouTube, and I mean it applies all across the board, I shouldn't say just YouTube. You want to make sure that if you use it on Twitter, use like half a second clip of your video's most entertaining part so that when you put the video actually in Twitter, the preview clip that it generates is generally the first frame of your video. You want to make sure that that clip alone is probably a separate clip that then it goes into your regular video. A little trick there. When it comes to Instagram, you can determine the cover that you're going to use for that, the cover image. So you use the most interesting one, make sure it's high quality, make sure it's not blurred because when people go down and they see something blurred, they're just going to keep going and they're immune to it. When it's YouTube, oh, it's so important. If you look at the YouTube thumbnail that I used 2 pictures of Tupac. One was an actual real one and the other one was an actual drawing. One of them is actually looking at you. It's getting all in your space. I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you like this. The text clearly says below me, Tupac, a real Tupac fan. That's even something too. That's positioning that goes back into congruency. A real Tupac fan. Ooh, I just want to fight him. He's not that real. A real Tupac fan rants about the movie, the All Eyes on Me movie. And this is exactly what it tells you what it is. So if you go in there and you're angry, you already know what to be angry about. Some people didn't even watch the video. They just probably watched the first 30 seconds and said, this is bull. That was garbage. That's fine, because that brings us to our third law. Well, a few minutes ago, we talked briefly about how you want to make sure that you use the content natively on every single one of those networks. Use it the way it was intended for. That's non-negotiable, right? Quality is non-negotiable. Well, when it comes to sharing it with and engaging with your audience, you want to make sure that it's something that says, This is for Instagram. This screams Instagram because people will consume it the right way. So make sure that you have it on shareable platforms as well. Make sure that the platforms you're sharing it on are not just for the sake of just getting views. Make sure that it's something that somebody can say, this is bull. I want to share it and tell people how bull it is. Or this is tight, man. I agree with this. Or this guy's an idiot. All of that stuff is going to happen. I hope you got a thick skin for this because it's getting ready to happen for you the more I share this information with you. Now, the next step, make sure your hashtags are all applying to the subject that you're talking about and make sure other people are talking about this topic. I always tell sports fans, there's no reason if you're a rapper or producer or you have a business or a product, there's no reason if you're a sports fan that you should not be engaging people in the conversation they're having all across the world. It's like a big forum around the world that you have an opportunity to give your 2 cents to. Maybe you don't like LeBron. Maybe you want to talk about how, he always gets calls from the referees unfairly. Talk about that within that conversation. And in that same breath, try to plug your actual product. Maybe you're a travel airlines and you say, you want to get away? Same way that LeBron does with fouls in the NBA finals, hashtag NBA finals. Well, you need to do that. I don't know if that was the greatest example, but you get the point. So use hashtags. For me, I use hashtags like All Eyes on Me. I use the hashtag Tupac, the hashtag Tupac Shakur. I used the hashtag Outlaws. I use all these hashtags that all apply to the subject and the topic at hand. And I did this on his birthday, so I said, happy birthday, Tupac. And I know it may feel for some people like, oh, that's so opportunistic. No, this is an opportunity for you to get your information. This doesn't just apply to you rappers and producers and businessmen that just want to, businessmen and women, that want to just get your products out. This applies to even the people who hate the video that I did. If you want to get your opinions out there and your ideas out there, you got to be better about your marketing. That is nobody's fault except for yours. You can't blame the directors. You can't blame nobody else. They're giving you the platform now. Now the conversation is elevated and this is a hot topic. You need to jump in the forum and do it. Jump in there and make sure you're having a conversation. Make sure you're having your two-piece said. Make sure that you're making your voice heard as clear as possible. Once you get your hashtags and you figure out what shareable platforms you're going to do, make sure that your SEO is on point, especially if you're using YouTube. Now, there's a few things that I utilize on my YouTube, and I'm going to show that to you right now. If you go to my YouTube video, the Real Tupac Fan rants about the All Eyes on Me movie, you're going to see a few things. That title alone is full of so much SEO value and so much SEO juice. Now, if you don't know SEO, it's search engine optimization. Basically, these are the tools that you use to get higher search probability within Google. You basically use these terms and things that people are searching for so that your video can fall maybe in the searches or the related videos, whatever the case may be. This is what your juice is all about. This is how the videos are going to have their fuel. You must pay attention to the SEO. So the first thing is the SEO within your title. So how can you get your title searched out the most? Well, now what I was going to do was use the title All Eyes on Me and put movie review, but it wasn't really a movie review and I didn't really want the topic of the conversation to be, oh, this ain't a movie review, this is stupid. No, I wanted the topic of the conversation to be what I was talking about. So I said a real Tupac fan. Tupac is a high SEO search word. Right now, that word is being searched so much. High probability that people are looking for Tupac right now. High probability that they'll find my video because of all the videos that I've done already. And I've shown that I have a great relationship and engagement rate and percentage. They already are going to believe that this is something that should be in the top of the search engine. Plus, I've had an account for a long time. I use the term Tupac. A real Tupac fan rants about All Eyes on Me movie. All Eyes on Me and movie are terms that are being searched out like crazy. You need to be within that conversation. So then you title it however you want to. I'd say this, a general rule of thumb is the closer you can have those keywords in the front of your title, the better, because you'll probably fall higher within the search engine because it's very specific to what people are looking for. Now, when it comes to the description, do not overlook this. And within your YouTube description, you must utilize the same keywords that you have utilized within your title. Utilize those now in your description. As you can see through the description, I put all of that stuff in there. You can even look at the tags. The tags are all full of tags that have great value. They are all terms that people are searching for that are related to the field. Now let's go over to my actual Instagram page. If you go to my Instagram video, what you're going to see is I utilize a lot of the same tactics. I use the hashtags. I used a very clear presentation. You're going to see that I even tag the main actor of the movie, which I've had the pleasure of meeting a few times, and I actually worked with them on a few beats. I tagged him in that. But mind you, the video was already going viral way before that happened. And what happens is once you're hashtagging that, you got to understand, not only are fans searching out these terms, the people who created the movie are searching out these terms. And how do I know that? Because LT Hutton himself reposted my video directly from my Instagram. In addition, the next day I woke up, I got a message from that actor, the lead actor that played Tupac Shakur, and he said, man, good looking out, bro. You did that video, had me cracking up. These videos are going to go viral because you have put them in the best situation to do that. You cannot rely just on social influences. I know a lot of marketers are going to say, oh, just find somebody with some social influence and go straight to them. Yes, but that's not always foolproof. Sometimes you can give your content to a social influencer and he shares it with his audience and his audience don't give a damn about you. So you can't think that that's something that's going to help you out. It's like cold calling 100,000 people who you don't even know if they're interested in what you're doing. Now, as you probably noticed if you watched the video on YouTube and you saw the comments and you saw the comments on my Instagram, there's a lot of love, but there was a lot of negativity. I won't even call it hate. It's a lot of negativity. And this is a topic that people are passionate about. I told you that from the jump. I knew that. I know human psychology, man. You know people are going to be pissed and they're going to call you all kind of names. They called me all kind of names. And the weekend was probably the nicest thing somebody called me. But they called me all kind of names. Here's what I did. I knew that if I engage with these comments, that not only would they engage back and I get paid for every comment on YouTube, not only did I know that that would happen, but I also knew that other people who wanted to say something bad or good would see me commenting and be more encouraged to jump in the mix of everything. I knew that, so then I responded even to the negative. They called me, oh, you're da-da-da-da-da-da. And I said, really? Is that everything that I am? What else you got? Or I even engaged people in intellectual conversation. Why? Because this is something I was congruent about. Something I felt in my chest and in my heart that I stood behind. And I know people had valid arguments, and I acknowledged their valid arguments. I wasn't trolling. What I was doing was jumping into conversation as an example to other people to fuel them to now jump into conversation. Some people didn't have an opinion until they read the comments, and then they jumped in there and said, yeah, I feel the same way. That happens. That's human beings, man. And as much as you're engaging with the negative, make sure you engage with the positive too. Make sure they know that they're welcome in that environment. Make sure they know that you appreciate them coming to comment. All these things are going to make them tag more people. The last thing I want to talk about is something I got from the book, The Tipping Point by Malcolm Gladwell. He says that for anything, content, videos, products to go viral, they must come in contact with 3 people. Those 3 people are the following: a connector, a maven, and a salesperson or a persuader. I guess nowadays would be a social influencer. Let's start with that one since you know that one. Social influencer or persuader is just somebody who's just really great at persuading people into doing things. Hey, check this video out. Man, this is one of the most controversial videos about this Tupac movie. You should definitely check this out. Oh my God, I can't believe he said what he said. Dude, did you see that video? You didn't see it? That is a persuader. That is a salesman. A maven is somebody who probably comes in and says, you ain't no real Tupac fan. I'm a real Tupac fan since 1992. You ain't no real, oh, I got all his albums. I got tattoos on my body. I'm a specialist. That person is somebody who is a specialist and they know everything. They're a know-it-all about Tupac. That's fine. They're part of the process. Also, too, you need somebody that's a connector. When you get somebody that is a connector, somebody who knows everybody. You ever get somebody who just, they know everybody for no damn reason. You ask them, hey, how do you know so-and-so? Oh, when I was playing basketball at my church, he was actually the Water Boy's younger brother, and that's how we became cool. They just know everybody. You need to get in contact with a connector. Now, I came in contact with the influencer, being the lead actor, which was my brother Demetrius. That was not planned. The producer of the movie, LT Hutton, that was not planned. And the mavens that I came in contact with was every one of them that were diehard Tupac fans that felt like, oh, how could you like that movie? How could you have an opinion is basically what they were saying. And then also too, the connectors, the people who were jumping in the comments on my Instagram and just tagging people, tagging 4 and 5 people at a time. These are connectors who know everybody. And this is why my video went viral. I know that this got a little bit long-winded. I expected it to. And I know a lot of you are not going to sit up here and watch this entire video, but some of you who want to win and you know the information that I give you, you know that this is good. You know it's good. And you're getting ready to utilize that and you're getting ready to launch your own campaign. Now, if you have any other questions about this, or maybe you just are kind of wrecked in the brain about this, that's fine. That's human. I'm here to help you. I do rapper and producer consultations. If you need that, you can go to oneononewithcurtisking.com. We can set that up. I can set up a viral campaign for you today. But it requires you making the first step. These were the tools of how to make your video go viral using the tool called Controversy. I hope that you found this to be of value. Curtis King of CurtisKingBeats.com.